Few foods capture the essence of summer quite like watermelon. With its thick green rind, crisp pink or red flesh, and refreshing sweetness, watermelon is instantly recognizable and universally loved. It graces picnic tables, backyard barbecues, farmers markets, and fine dining menus alike, appearing in everything from simple fruit salads to gourmet salsas, chilled soups, cocktails, and even grilled preparations. Few fruits are as versatile. Watermelon can be sweet or savory, blended into juices, pickled by the rind, or carved into elaborate centerpieces for celebrations. But watermelon is far more than a seasonal treat. It has a history stretching back thousands of years, roots that trace to the deserts of Africa, and a cultural footprint that spans continents. It carries nutritional benefits that go well beyond hydration, and its cultivation has evolved through centuries of selective breeding into the countless varieties we enjoy today, from classic striped giants to seedless hybrids and even yellow-fleshed cultivars. In the sections that follow, we'll take a deep dive into watermelon's fascinating journey, where it came from and how it spread across the globe, the cultural traditions and symbolism built around it, the science behind its health benefits, how it's grown and harvested, its culinary uses around the world, and some surprising facts that might change the way you look at this humble fruit forever. Watermelon, Citrullus lanatus, originated in Africa, though its exact ancestral home has long been debated among botanists and historians. For decades, the Kalahari Desert region of southern Africa was considered the likely birthplace, largely due to the presence of wild, bitter-fleshed melons still found growing there today. More recent genetic research, however, points toward northeastern Africa, specifically Sudan and parts of the Nile Valley, as a more probable center of origin, with early domestication linked to a sweeter wild relative found in that region. Wild ancestors of watermelon were far different from the juicy fruit we know today. Early forms had pale, often bitter or bland flesh, and were valued less for eating out of hand and more as a reliable source of water and food storage in arid climates. Ancient peoples likely used these tough-skinned fruits as portable water sources during long desert journeys, since a whole watermelon could store liquid for extended periods without spoiling. Some of the clearest early evidence of watermelon cultivation comes from ancient Egypt. Watermelon seeds have been discovered in Egyptian tombs dating back roughly 5,000 years, and images resembling watermelons appear in hieroglyphics and tomb paintings. Egyptians are believed to have placed watermelons in the burial chambers of pharaohs, reflecting a belief that the fruit could nourish the deceased in the afterlife. This practice underscores just how valuable and symbolically significant watermelon had already become in one of the ancient world's great civilizations. From Africa, watermelon cultivation gradually spread along trade routes into the Mediterranean world. By the time of the Roman Empire, watermelons were known and consumed, though not always in the sweet form familiar today. Some historical accounts suggest they were also valued as a cooling remedy and used in early medicinal contexts. Watermelon cultivation continued eastward into India and China. Historical records suggest the fruit had reached China by the 10th or 11th century, likely carried along Silk Road trade networks. China would go on to become, and remains today, the world's largest producer of watermelon by a wide margin. Moorish traders and conquerors are credited with introducing watermelon to Europe more broadly during the medieval period, particularly into Spain and southern Europe, from where it eventually spread further north and west. Watermelon made its way to the Americas through several routes. European colonizers brought seeds across the Atlantic, and the fruit was also introduced via the transatlantic slave trade, as enslaved Africans carried agricultural knowledge and, in some cases, seeds with them. By the 16th and 17th centuries, watermelon cultivation was recorded among Native American communities and early colonial settlements. Spanish colonizers are believed to have introduced watermelon to Florida as early as the 1570s, and cultivation spread through the American South, where the climate proved well suited to the crop. By the 19th century, watermelon had become a staple summer crop across much of the southeastern United States, setting the stage for the deep cultural associations that would follow, some celebratory, others, unfortunately, entangled with painful racial stereotypes rooted in post-slavery America, a history that food historians continue to examine and contextualize today. In much of the world, watermelons are inseparable from the idea of summer itself. In the United States, it is a fixture of 4th of July celebrations, backyard cookouts, and county fairs, often featured in watermelon eating contests and seed-spitting competitions. In China, watermelon is a beloved summer staple, commonly enjoyed sliced and chilled as a way to beat the heat, and it plays a role in mid-autumn festival traditions in some regions. Japan is famous for cultivating square and heart-shaped watermelons, grown inside rigid glass or plastic molds during development, purely for novelty and gifting purposes. These specialty melons can sell for extraordinary prices as luxury gifts. West Africa, watermelon's likely ancestral home, continues to use the fruit's seeds in cooking. Roasted and ground, they're incorporated into soups, stews, and snacks, specifically in Nigerian egusi dishes. Middle Eastern and Mediterranean cuisines often pair watermelon with salty, tangy elements like feta cheese, olives, and fresh mint, a combination that highlights the fruit's natural sweetness through contrast. In Vietnam, watermelon seeds, dyed red, are a traditional Lunar New Year snack symbolizing luck and prosperity. Across various cultures, watermelon has picked up symbolic meanings tied to abundance, fertility, and good fortune, likely because of its many seeds and generous size. In some Middle Eastern and Mediterranean traditions, offering watermelon to a guest is a gesture of hospitality and generosity. Its vivid red flesh has also made it a natural subject in art, from Renaissance still-life paintings to contemporary pop art. Watermelon's reputation as just water and sugar undersells its genuine nutritional value. While it is indeed roughly 90–92% water by weight, making it one of the most hydrating fruits available, it also delivers a meaningful array of vitamins, minerals, and beneficial plant compounds. A typical 2-cup, about 300 green, serving of diced watermelon provides notable amounts of vitamin C, supports immune function and skin health, vitamin A, largely from beta-carotene, important for eye health and immune function, potassium, supports healthy blood pressure and muscle function, magnesium, involved in hundreds of enzymatic processes in the body, vitamin B, including B6 and B1, which support energy metabolism. All of this comes at a low-calorie cost. Watermelon is naturally low in calories and contains no fat or cholesterol, making it a popular choice for those managing weight or seeking nutrient-dense, low-calorie snacks. Watermelon is one of the richest dietary sources of lycopene, the antioxidant pigment responsible for its deep red color. In fact, watermelon contains more lycopene per serving than raw tomatoes. Lycopene has been studied for its potential role in reducing oxidative stress in the body, and some research has explored associations between higher lycopene intake and reduced risk factors for certain cardiovascular concerns and specific cancers, though more research in humans is still needed to draw firm conclusions. Because of its extremely high water content, combined with natural electrolytes like potassium, watermelon is often recommended as a refreshing way to support hydration, particularly during hot weather or after physical activity. Watermelon rind and flesh contain citrulline, an amino acid that the body converts into arginine, which in turn plays a role in nitric oxide production, a compound involved in blood vessel relaxation. Some preliminary research has explored citrulline's potential role in exercise performance and circulatory health, an area of ongoing scientific interest, particularly in sports nutrition circles. The combination of vitamin C, vitamin A, and antioxidants like lycopene and beta-carotene supports skin health by contributing to collagen production and helping protect skin cells from oxidative damage, while vitamin A also plays a role in maintaining healthy vision. Watermelon does contain natural sugars, and people managing blood sugar levels should be mindful of portion sizes. However, its high water and fiber content generally results in a more moderate impact on blood sugar compared to many other sweet foods, particularly when eaten in reasonable portions as part of a balanced diet. Watermelon is a warm season crop that thrives in long, hot-growing seasons with plenty of sunlight. It requires well-drained, sandy loam soil and consistent watering, particularly during flowering and fruit development, though excessive moisture near harvest can dilute sweetness. Most varieties need between 70 and 100 days from planting to harvest, depending on the cultivar. Watermelon plants rely heavily on pollinators, particularly bees, to transfer pollen from male to female flowers. Each plant produces both male and female blossoms, and without adequate pollination, fruit will fail to develop properly. A fact that has made watermelon growers increasingly attentive to supporting healthy pollinator populations. There are hundreds of watermelon cultivars, generally grouped into a few broad categories: seeded, open-pollinated varieties, the traditional type, including classic stripe varieties, seedless, triploid hybrids, developed through selective crossbreeding, now dominant in commercial markets due to consumer preference, mini or personal watermelons, compact varieties bred for smaller households, yellow and orange-fleshed varieties, less common but growing in popularity, with a flavor profile often described as slightly milder or honey-like. China dominates global watermelon production by a substantial margin, followed by countries including Turkey, India, Brazil, and the United States. In the U.S., states like Florida, Georgia, Texas, and California are among the leading producers, with domestic harvest timing generally running from late spring through early fall, depending on region. Watermelon's versatility extends far beyond eating it sliced. Around the world, it appears in a remarkable range of preparations: sliced, cubed, or scooped into balls for fruit salads. Combined with feta, mint, arugula, or balsamic reduction in salads. Blended into juices, smoothies, aguas frescas, and cocktails like watermelon margaritas. Lightly charred slices develop a smoky sweet flavor, popular in modern barbecue menus. A southern U.S. tradition that transforms the often discarded rind into a tangy, crunchy condiment. Roasted and salted as a snack in various cuisines, or ground into flour or paste in West African cooking. Popsicles, sorbets, and granitas that capitalize on its high water content for a naturally icy texture. Even the rind, often discarded, is edible and nutritious, containing citrulline and fiber, and can be stir-fried, pickled, or blended into juice in various culinary traditions. 7. Around the world, it appears in a remarkable range of preparations: sliced, cubed, or scooped into balls for fruit salads combined with feta, mint, arugula, or balsamic reduction in salads blended into juices, smoothies, aguas frescas, and cocktails like watermelon margaritas. Lightly charred slices develop a smoky sweet flavor, popular in modern barbecue menus. A southern U.S. tradition that transforms the often discarded rind into a tangy, crunchy condiment roasted and salted as a snack in various cuisines, or ground into flour or paste in West African cooking popsicles, sorbets, and granitas that capitalize on its high water content for a naturally icy texture. Even the rind, often discarded, is edible and nutritious, containing citrulline and fiber, and can be stir-fried, pickled, or blended into juice in various culinary traditions. Watermelon is technically both a fruit and, botanically speaking, classified as a vegetable in some contexts since it belongs to the same family, Cucurbitaceae, as cucumbers and squash. The entire watermelon, rind, seeds, and flesh, is edible. Oklahoma officially designated watermelon as its state vegetable in 2007, embracing this fruit-vegetable ambiguity. The largest recorded watermelon weighed over 350 pounds, roughly 159 kilograms, grown in Tennessee. Watermelon is a member of the gourd family, making it a botanical relative of cucumbers, pumpkins, and cantaloupes. A yellow-fleshed variety exists, sometimes called yellow crimson, with a flavor often described as honeyed compared to the classic red variety. From its ancient origins in Africa to its status as a global summer favorite, watermelon has a remarkable history shaped by survival, trade, cultural exchange, and agricultural innovation. Once valued as a vital source of hydration for desert travelers and an offering to Egyptian pharaohs, it has become a symbol of hospitality and a fruit celebrated for its health benefits, including the naturally occurring compounds lycopene and citrulline. Whether enjoyed fresh on a hot day, blended into drinks, paired with cheese and salads, or even pickled, watermelon remains one of the world's most versatile and beloved fruits. a lasting legacy of a plant that has accompanied humanity for thousands of years.